What is going on, guys? I've got another video for you guys today. Today's video is going to be kind of breaking down the audio setup that I use. A lot of people have a lot of questions when it comes to audio because it's something that's very hard to wrap your head around when you first get started into it. I do want to start this video and say that I am by no means an audio professional. I had a lot of help in setting this up by my good friend Ernest. Ernest, if you're watching this, huge shout out to you. Try not to judge me too badly when I butcher everything that you've told me and taught me. I've got an audio setup that works great. It's a little bit of a higher end setup when it comes to streaming. When it comes to the grand scheme of things, when it comes to audio, obviously it's not that impressive. But a lot of people ask me, you know, how I do this, how I do that, how I do whatever with two PCs because once you throw another PC into the mix, everything just gets so confusing and your head explodes and you just kind of forget what you're doing. So the audio setup that I have a Shure SM7B, a Cloudlifter CL1, a Behringer 1204 USB, a couple of hum eliminators, and a lot of cables. A lot of people, when they're first starting out, they don't really know which mixer to get. There's a lot of misinformation when it comes to mixers because people will just buy an XLR mic and they don't really know where to go when it comes to mixers. So they'll just ask one person or they'll just like look at what somebody else is using and then they'll just buy it without doing a whole lot of research. And I really urge against that. A lot of people are using like the Scarlett 2i2, a lot of people are using the Line UX2, and they're all great devices for their own purposes. The UX2 has a really good plugin suite and it has those cool like voice changing effects, which if that's what you're going for, then sure, grab a UX2. But the issue with the 2i2 and the UX2, and again, if you don't understand these terms, that's fine. Just completely blank over this. But the issue with the UX2 and the 2i2 is that they are software-based EQ. So basically, when you're gonna wanna adjust how your voice sounds with your highs, lows, mids, compression, all that nonsense, it's all gonna be on your computer in your software, which is not the best for live audio because it's gonna add a little bit of latency. It's gonna be just more that you have to do. It's gonna be more of a hassle. So the mixer that I use, which again, like I said, is not anything too high-end, is the Behringer 1204. Again, all the links will be in the description, so you can check those out. But it's the Behringer 1204. It's a 12-channel mixer, which is a little bit overkill, but it does everything that I need it to, and we'll break that down right now. Alright, so here we are looking at the face of the mixer. Channel 1 is going to be our main mic channel, which, like I said, you can adjust your compression, your highs, your mids, your lows, and all of that nonsense. This slider here obviously is going to make your volume go up and down. All of that's the basics. I'm not going to be explaining all of that in this video. You can find tons of videos on that on the internet. I'm going to be breaking down more of like the whole stream setup because there's not too many videos like that on the internet. Alright, so because I have a 2-PC setup, in channel 5.6 is going to be the streaming PC, and in channel 7.8 is going to be the gaming PC. So the way that works is you go from headphone jack on the streaming PC into 5.6. I would really recommend that you grab some tape and mark these off so that you understand which they are because it'll make it a lot less confusing. On 7 and 8 is going to be the gaming PC. Again, like I said, just make sure you mark it off so you understand which is which and you don't get confused with that. Because with audio, it's really easy to get confused because you don't have something tangible to hold on to and understand what's going on. So what we've covered on the 3 channels so far, channel 1, channel 5.6, channel 7.8, that's 3 channels. Those are our 3 different audio sources. We've got mic, we've got streaming PC, and we've got gaming PC. So those are our 3 channels that are going into our stream. To hear the audio from all of those, we're gonna have something going from the headphone jack and going into our headphones. Whether that's straight into your headphones or whether that's into like an ASTRO mix amp or some other type of mix amp that allows you to mix a bunch of audio together, you're gonna go from the headphone jack into your headphones. This is where things start to get a little confusing. So you see where these yellow things are on right here. That means that these tracks are muted. Wait just a second. Alright, so you might be asking me, okay, Cody, why do we have these all plugged in and then mute them? That doesn't make any sense. Just wait, hang on. So the Behringer has 3 outputs that we're gonna be using. This is where things get a little tricky. The first output is called the main mix. That is the USB. So you're gonna plug that USB into your streaming PC or wherever you're trying to pick that up from, and you're gonna set that as your main microphone device because what you're gonna be using that for is your microphone. So set that as your microphone device. Everything that is unmuted will continuously go out that main mix track. So it might start clicking now. We have the other ones muted because they're gonna go out a different output. You're not gonna be going through the same audio track. We're gonna have multiple audio tracks. So let's go back to the mixer. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to leave these muted and make sure that on your sources you have main mix selected and you have Alt 3.4 selected. We're going to be talking about Alt 3.4 in just a moment. All All right, so what Alt 3.4 is it's basically a background audio track, everything that's muted. It can be adjusted with this slider right here. So as these are muted, that doesn't mean that you can't hear it as long as you have Alt 3.4 selected and you have it turned up. So while these are muted, they're not gonna be pushed out anywhere except for your headphones unless you push them out the aux send. Again, I know, bear with me, it's getting confusing, bear with me. So what the aux send is, so if you see every channel has 2 aux sends. It has an aux send and it has an FX send. This will allow us to create 3 audio channels. If you look up at the top of the mixer, there's an aux send port and an FX send port. Again, make sure you label these so you understand what they're for and you don't get lost in those. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave these 2 muted, and what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna send that audio out in its own audio track. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the aux send up. You're gonna have to find your own levels and try to figure out what works for you. Audio is a lot of testing and a lot of failing and figuring out what exactly works for you. So, I mean, your settings aren't gonna be perfect. Everything's not gonna be perfect as soon as you watch this video. It's still gonna take a lot of testing. So we're gonna go and crank up the aux send. Try 0 or midway and mess with it from there and go up and down from there. And then what we're gonna do from there is we're gonna plug in a cable from the aux send and plug it into the microphone port on your streaming PC. That is then gonna create the second audio channel. The first one being the USB, and then the second one being the microphone port. That's then gonna let you adjust your microphone and your gaming PC audio separately. The third channel is gonna be desktop audio. So the streaming PC we have coming through here just so we can hear it in our headphones, but it's gonna stay muted and we're not gonna send it anywhere. You're just gonna select that as its own audio device and just have it play as the default device. All right, the very final and kind of tricky part for all of this is getting your microphone to play on both your streaming PC and on your gaming PC so people in your lobbies can hear you. Just like we did with the gaming PC audio, what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn up the FX send instead of the aux send, right? We want it to be in its own audio track. We're gonna turn up the FX send. We're gonna plug a cable into the FX send and run that into your gaming PC, and that will give you your audio for that. All right, so those are gonna be all your different audio tracks, and that's how you set up a dual PC audio setup. You've got your 3 different audio tracks. So you've got your mic going into both your gaming PC, your streaming PC, and you have audio for all of those. I say this while holding my tongue. If you have any questions, feel free to post a comment below. Please understand that audio is very different for every different person, and I probably do not know how to fix your audio issues. I worked out my issues with the guidance of someone, and I hope that this video can help you work out your issues as well. If you have any discrepancies or questions about the video, feel free to post those and I'll try my best to answer them. However, I don't think that I can help every single person set up their audio. I'm hoping that this was able to help though. If you guys did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a thumbs up if it helped you out. And thank you guys so very much for watching. If you guys are new, feel free to click that sub button. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Peace out. Bye-bye.